Everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you all for tuning in. To my returning subscribers, I say thank you all so much. Mwah, I appreciate you. If today is the first day you are seeing my videos, I thank you as well and you are welcome. If you've not subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, please do consider subscribing, okay? My name is Caro V and I am a food and lifestyle YouTuber. Today, I'll be sharing with you how I prepare this delicious Oghwevwri soup. You see it bubbling here? Yes, it's very delicious. Oghwevwri soup is very important to the Urhobo community. It is our traditional soup. And this soup is the food we always present to our in-laws on the traditional marriage day. We present this soup to our in-laws with boiled yams, boiled green plantains, and starch. Any traditional marriage without Oghwevwri soup, that marriage is not complete yet. So you know how important this soup is to the Urhobo community. So let me introduce you to the ingredients we'll be using to prepare the soup, okay? So we'll be using beef. For our protein, we use beef. We are going to use pomo and shaki. Okay, then we have to add some smoked fish. Yeah, I'm using lady fish. This fish is tasty. That is why I'm using it for the Oghwevwri soup. Okay, we'll be needing some dried grounded pepper and crayfish. So yeah, you can see I separated the crayfish because I want to explain. The first crayfish I'm touching here is the normal crayfish we use to cook our egusi soup, while the other one is the called Urhobo. This one is smaller and a bit tough, a bit harder. So I'm going to be using both to prepare the Oghwevwri soup. So I have salt and Maggi cubes. I'll use to cook the beef. Okay, I will not be putting salt in the Oghwevwri soup. I'll be using the native salt to season our soup. This is not cow, this is called native salt. It's called Oghwevwri in Urhobo. Okay, this is not cow, it's native salt. Okay, that is what we'll be using to prepare the soup to taste. I'll be needing some little gari and little starch to thicken the soup and our palm oil. So here are all the ingredients I'll be using to prepare this soup. Okay, the soup is not difficult to prepare, it's easy. So let's start cooking. Okay, first I'm going to boil the shaki. It's tough, so I'm going to boil it because it's tough. I'll boil it for about 5 to 7 minutes before I add in the beef. Okay, so the shaki has been cooking for about say 5 to 7 minutes. I'll wash my beef and I'm going to add my washed beef and pomo now to this pot so they can start cooking together. So the shaki will be soft along with the pomo and the beef. Okay, this is my washed deboned smoked fish. I add it to the pot for it to boil as well. Okay, then I'm going to add my seasonings, which is the Maggi cubes, 3 Maggi cubes, and I will add in some salt to taste. I put in the salt now. In the soup, we're not going to be adding any table salt. We'll be using the Oghwevwri to cook our soup. So I'll stir all together and I'll add some water so it can boil very well. Okay, add in some water, close my pot, and I'll allow this to boil very well. After 5 minutes, I come back to my pot. It's boiling very well. It's reporting properly. So just to check if the meat is tender enough. So I'm going to add some water into my grounded pepper and I will transfer it into the pot of boiling meat. Yes, so gently I put in my peppers into my pot. This is the pot with peppers. I cover it, allow it to boil again. And now I'm going to go to my gari. I will add in, you just need a little bit of gari, okay? I'll add in water into the gari. I will strain off the chaff from the top of the gari. I'll make sure the gari is soft, okay? Then I will transfer this soaked gari into the pot of my pot, okay, with the beef and the pepper. I will transfer this gari now into my pot. Now I put in the gari into my pot. Okay, now I have my beef, my pepper, and my garri inside this pot right now. You can see, I'll make sure there's no lumps. The garri is smooth, very, very smooth. I'll stir, I'll make sure there's no lump. The garri does not form any seed. We don't want any seed in this soup. So this is the Oghwevwri, those strong little crayfish. I will wash and I'll pour them into the pot like that. I did not blend it. Just wash and put them into the pot. Then the other crayfish, I'm going to blend it and I'll pour it into the pot as well. You stir your pot of soup so everything will be combined. The aroma in the kitchen is really nice now. Everywhere, the aroma is really delicious. Yes, so you stir your soup very well and make sure everything combines very well. You cover the pot and allow it to boil for some time. Then, yeah, this kitchen is really, really nice. So the pot is, you allow the food to boil very well. Everything will just be, and let everything marry each other. Let the seasoning, the peppers, the garri, let everything boil very well together. You cover for some time, you come back, see everything is boiling very well. There is no lump in the garri because it's very smooth, okay? So as it's boiling right now, I'm going to add in my palm oil. Yes, not too much, okay? Just add some palm oil to your soup and you allow it to boil very well. So in the pot now we have our meat, our garri, our palm oil. You allow everything to boil very well. You go to your starch, take just a little starch, add in some water. The native salt, I blended it on my grinding stone. Make sure it comes to a smooth paste. So this is where the magics happen, okay? You get your native salt, little native salt. Don't go overboard. Just a little native salt. You get a little of the native salt. You see in my spoon. You put it in the pot. When you are doing this, you want to make sure you do it on low heat. Because the soup might overflow, okay? Might boil over. So you put it gradually in your pot and you reduce the heat on the stove. If possible, turn off the heat of the stove, okay? So you stir this in. So to avoid the soup from overflowing, you just add your starch. You already put in the water gradually. So now I'm going to add in the starch gradually into the soup, okay? So you add the starch gradually just to thicken the soup and you have your once you do that, you stir your soup. Let's make sure the soup is on low heat and then you stir your soup. That is when you have your Oghwevwri soup. The starch and the native salt will help give the soup taste and the starch will help thicken the soup. That is when you have this lovely soup you see here. Our Oghwevwri soup is ready. So just allow it boil for about, say, 3 minutes and the soup is ready to serve, okay? Very tasty and very nutritious. That is our Oghwevwri soup for you. So guys, if you've watched my video up to this extent, please do consider subscribing. Click the like button. Drop a comment below if there is anything you would like to say to me or any other video you'd like to see in future. Please drop a comment below and share my video. So guys, this is how I served the food. Oghwevwri soup and starch. Guys, I tell you, this food was really delicious. It was really tasty. You want to try? Oh, please try and prepare this soup, And if you did, please tell me how it turned out. Thank you all for tuning in. Bye-bye.